Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today. I know it's Easter, it's Sunday, and it's a busy day for a lot of people. So thank you very much for being here and for showing this interest in our healing group. I'm really having fun with this. I hope you all are too. So today I thought, since I figured it would be a smaller group, I think what we'll do is just go over everything and really practice and answer any questions and kind of go over the affirmations a little bit more too. Does that sound okay? Okay, good. So the first affirmation today, God is my source of all supply and answers my every need. I totally accept the new potential within myself. I free it to be used in a progressive and advancing manner for myself and mankind. I will know joy and peace as I exhibit this new potential of myself. Thank you, Creator. So be it. I love this one. It just seems so appropriate for what we're doing these last couple of weeks. Let's kind of look at that. Totally accept the new potential within myself. I free it to be used in a progressive and advancing manner for myself and mankind. That kind of speaks to everything that we're doing. We're learning and progressing every week, and we're using it for ourselves and for mankind in general to be able to help where we can and take responsibility for ourselves and empower ourselves in a way that maybe we hadn't felt like we could before. We depend on doctors for everything. You have to do this, you have to do that, but we have so much of it within ourselves. We just have to tap into that, right? So does anybody have anything that you found in that first affirmation that you'd like to share? Okay, all right. Okay, so let's start with the first things we've learned, and those are hand exercises. So everybody come on and do them with me. I can see you. How are you doing your hand exercises? Are you bending your fingers back? Yeah, that's how I do it too. I just bend them back one at a time when I'm watching TV or whatever. And what that's going to do is it's going to make your hands more sensitive and more receptive to feeling any changes. So as you're practicing your healing techniques on yourself or on others, really tune into what your hands are feeling, to what your fingers are feeling. Some people may feel a coldness if you come to certain areas. Make a note of that. Find out what that means to you. You may feel more tingly, like for me, for myself. When I feel more tingles going from my hands, it just, to me, feels like that person is absorbing the energy big time, and I'm going to spend a little more time there. If I feel cold in a certain area, that tells me that there might be a problem there. That might be something, are you hurting there? Do you have a problem here? Do you need to get something checked out? Actually was doing this for a friend of mine, and as I went over the chest, I felt cold. And she has a heart condition. I didn't know that. And she went to the doctor, checked it out, and well, she knew she had a heart condition, but there were some things that she needed to get checked on that she wasn't aware of before. So it can really come in handy. It wasn't life-threatening, but it was something that maybe, and all I said was, it felt kind of cool around this area. She said, oh, well, I do have heart issues. Oh, okay, well, you might want to talk to your doctor, just make sure everything's okay. So, it really can, you really do pick up on these things, the amount of vibration, coolness, warmth. You can keep a little notebook, write little notes, see what it means to you. Really figure it out as you do more on yourself, your pets, friends, family, anyone. Okay, so the hand exercises really help. Now, when we build the energy, how do we do that? All right. Hold your hands together. See if you feel something spongy or cool or tingly. You guys feel anything, or is it kind of a nothing? What do you feel, Jan?
So
Oh,
I typically feel both sponge and tingle.
oh, both.
Yeah.
Double whammy. I always feel tingles all the way into my fingers. It's like electricity.
And I feel the energy literally building up. I feel it may be a warmth, but it's really not. It's not really tingling. It's just I recognize it as power building.
Energy. Does it feel like it's building more and more the longer you hold your hands together?
Yes. Oh, yeah, the longer I hold it, and every night when I do my healing meditations, I call on an orb, and I feel it just appear. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger.
Wow.
It's
I saw this lady on YouTube and she's doing a class on orbs. And I think what they're going to do is like do meditations and set up their phones and see if they catch any orbs. Have any of you ever done that?
no.
That sounds interesting. That'd be something to try.
I'd like to reflect on that. I've had the exact same experiences as Andrea in reference to building energy. And
Uh-huh.
there are certain times that I do see the orb. There's other times that I see and visualize a column of golden light coming down on the individual or with who I'm working with. And that truly is heaven descend, earth rise. And it's in this just in the column is so solid and so strong.
Wow.
There are times that I see it in white, but often it will be golden.
Oh,
And it's just there's a heat, a warmth that I feel in between the hands when it builds.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's great. So then we build the energy. Then the next step, if we're doing a healing, what's the next step after we build the energy? Then we go to the area that needs healing. So I'm just going to pretend it's the top of my head. You can do direct healing, right? Just pointing. I'm just going to point to the ceiling for right now, but that's direct energy, or you can do parallel energy, which is on each side of your head, an arm, a leg, whatever. The direct healing and the parallel are really the two most basic forms. And what Julian said about this is that you're going to find what resonates best with you. With some people, it's direct. With some people, it's parallel. But what you're doing is you're putting energy into an area. You're putting in your intention of love and energy. And like we talked about before, when you're doing the parallel healing, it's something that sets up a vortex of energy between your hands. And then, of course, as Jen was saying earlier, you can concentrate the energy, you can diffuse the energy, you can really uh, customize it almost to whatever the need might be. And also, if your hands aren't exactly in the right place, I mean, it's good to get them where Julian said to put them, but you're not going to hurt anybody if it's a little off, you know. It it might not be the most efficient way to get the energy, but it won't hurt. And I think that's important to know. It makes it a little more doable, a little less, because I mean, this is healing and there are some things you can do, like with the pointing the finger. You don't point the finger, point a finger at your eyes or in your ears because it's like a laser and it sets up things that can help you, but not in your eyes or your ears. Okay. So when we're healing, we build the energy, we go to the place that we're healing, and then we break the energy, or you snap or do whatever you want to do there. You break the energy. And what we're doing is that we're clearing it and we're getting nice, clean energy to go to the next area. Okay. We're being good stewards of our energy. All right. So some of the things we talked about. Do you have any questions about any of the basics?
If you're not feeling really energy in your own self, is there a way to call on help other than your own personal energy? So that it,
To get some energy for yourself
well,
when you're feeling down.
if you're feeling really concerned about somebody and you want to help and heal them,
Mhm.
sometimes the feeling for them can get in the way of being positive about the energy.
If you're sending energy to someone with love, even if you're worried, it's not going to adversely affect anyone. Okay? If you're worried about them, you're feeling bad, the only thing is don't be angry. You know, if you're angry or jealous, those kind of emotions can affect the output of your energy. It's not going to affect you in that the energy doesn't come from you, it goes through you.
Okay, that
Okay.
helps. Yeah.
So, okay, good. I'm glad. You're not going to be depleted. Okay. All right. So one of the first things we did was the decongestant plus, right? So let's go over that. This is for if you have a cold or allergies, really helpful this time of year because with the spring and all the flowers and the bugs on the trees also comes out pollen and all kinds of stuff. So we build the energy. And then does anybody remember where we put our hands? It's 3 positions, right? Doesn't matter which one is first. Okay. And what you're doing is you're thinking, you're holding each one for at least a minute. And then what's another one? Next hand position. Right. Put your hand over the bridge of your nose, palm of your hand, bridge of your nose, and one in the back. Good. And then the third one, top and bottom. All right. Very good. And then if you want to do this for allergies, how do you make it a little less, right, float it in. Good one, Becky. Spread the fingers and float it in. And you do all 3. This is hard for me. I can't pat my tummy and rub my head at the same time. Okay, great. You guys are awesome.
I can actually almost, I know I have a broken shoulder. I can
Oh.
almost reach I couldn't do this last week with this hand.
Good.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
getting higher. Yeah, I'm in physical therapy, but isn't it? I was just like, well, let's see if I can do it. See what I can do because last week the reason I wasn't doing it is because I couldn't. And it's like, okay, I think I can, and
Good
almost
for
there.
you. Good
Yeah,
for you.
It's
And
great.
to help yourself, if it's hard to put, parallel on that, just do direct.
That's what I've been doing a lot of direct. Yeah, direct
Good.
healing
Good for
is not
you.
all. Yeah, parallel's pretty. Yeah, that's.
You
You
can
have to
also, if there's
visualize that
somebody
extra
around,
hand.
you can ask
Visualize a third
someone.
hand for that.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah.
Does anybody have problem with their knees? I can teach you something real quick. I have
Sure.
sometimes problems with my knees. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
we can see.
All right.
Very good.
So thumbs on either side of the knee, and you go around 2, 3, and then you stop and you go 1, 2, 3, and then you stop. You break the energy, build the energy. You should have built the energy at first. So, excuse me. And then you do the same thing. Okay. Thumbs and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And break the energy, build the energy, do it again 3 times, 3 times, 3 times. 3 is the magic number. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, you do that for the other side too, so you don't walk around lopsided all day. I'm just kidding.
Is there something specific you can do for a torn meniscus?
I'm not sure what that is. What's a
It,
thorny meniscus?
your leg bones come together and there's cushioning, and sometimes it squishes out of place. It breaks its membrane and scooshes out.
I would
Sometimes they trim it and sometimes they leave it.
think-
Mine is left.
Yeah, I've heard of it before. I wasn't sure what it was. I would just do direct or parallel
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a joint, is where you do the thumbs and the round. Like you could have somebody do your elbow. I don't know if you could. You can't do that. You could do it one side at a time, I guess.
Yeah, you can do one side at a time.
Yeah. But even if you ask a friend to help and they don't know anything about this, you can just tell them what to do and it still works.
Okay.
Just
Thanks.
make sure that they clear their hands, build the energy, and then you're teaching them something new. You can help each other.
Yeah.
Okay, good questions. All right, so that was just a little side note. What? Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, so the next thing we did was unruffling. And that's for generalized healing. It's very relaxing. It's good when you've been learning new things or maybe, you know, just finding out some different things about anything. It's also good if you've been concentrating and if you have a headache. Or if you want to help someone who's restless go to sleep, yourself, a child, anybody who's having trouble sleeping. And unruffling is either sitting or lying down. If you're standing, you're only going to unruffle from the neck down because you don't want to get energy from your head. You could pass out. So what you're doing is you're doing 3 passes over top to front. So it's, and you go all the way down. When you go all the way down to your feet, flip out your hands like you're just flipping out the bad energy into that cosmic vaporizer we talked about, but you go all the way down, flip it out. You do 3 times on the front. Then you do 3 passes over the bottom front. Okay, you do 3, I'm sorry, messed this up. 3 passes over the top front, like from your head to your waist, okay? Or if you're standing up from your neck to your waist. 3 passes on the top front, 2, 3 from your waist. And then 3 passes on the bottom front from your waist to your feet. 1, 2, 3. And you can do that sitting down. What you're doing is you're clearing away the dust bunnies. And what Julian said is flipping them into a trash can to be vaporized by universal energies. So I trust him. If he says there's that out there, then I think there is. Okay. So let me just go over that one more time because I messed it up. 3 top front from the top to the waist 3 times. And then from the waist to the feet 3 times, flipping that out. Okay, good.
So I have a question. Do we do any building of energy for that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Good
Okay.
question, Dan. I'm glad you did it. Before we do anything, we do building the energy. So you build the energy. Let's do that. And do 3 passes over the front. 1, you don't have to build in between. And then break it. And then build it. And do 3 passes on the bottom.
Now, this time you talked about the front. Do you do anything in the back? Doesn't make any.
No, it's not. It's the unruffling doesn't say you could if you wanted to, but this is just the front and it kind of helps take everything down a little bit.
Someone talked about, was it a kid or was it a dog? I'm trying to remember. Someone was mentioning unruffling the other day. If you were, let's say, unruffling a pet, it'd be a little hard to do their front. So could we do their backs? You know, sort of like petting, but energetically.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
I think so. I think again, I'd spread out my hands just unruffling just to make sure.
I recall that from the last session, and someone had described that there was a new puppy or a new animal that had all this energy and was going nuts. And what she chose to do, I mean, all you can do is go from the head to the, down the spine. That's typical because the animal's moving all over the place. And within a very short period of time, the animal just went to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I recall from the discussion last week.
Yeah,
Very
actually, it was a
good.
tipping
Yeah.
point. It was a
Right.
tipping point
It
on.
was in the tipping
Oh,
point.
was that it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
got it.
yeah. It
Yeah,
seems like forever ago, but it was just yesterday.
Yeah, just yesterday. In the no time.
What did we say about days and times having no meanings anymore? Hmm. Okay, great. The other thing that we talked about was the pyramid. I want to add a little bit more to that. Remember, we talked about the pyramid where you put cup your hands. All right. For more intense energy, thumbs crossed. It concentrates the energy and has a great force of healing energy that goes straight through the system to the internal organs and wherever it's needed. That's a really good one to know. Receptivity of energy is to be inside the dome on your hands, your dome of hands, and the force that pushes it outside the dome. Okay, so you're building the energy with the dome on your hands, and it's all inside, and then the force pushes it out. So you want to remember we talked about when to have a right hand and when to have a left hand, and because the left hand is receptive. So that's one of the times we're going to use it with the pyramid. You want to have your right thumb over your left so that it's pushing and the left is concentrating it into the body. That's where you're going to get the most benefit. Does that make sense? Then when you do the pyramid, you're going to follow it up with 2 fingers at the crown of your head. Of course, you're finishing up the pyramid, you're breaking the energy, you're building the energy. 2 fingers at the crown of the head in a clockwise motion 3 times, and then a counterclockwise motion 3 times. And then you finish with 1 more bout of the pyramid energy. That's a complicated one. Let's go over that again.
Is it 2 fingers or 3?
2.
2. Got it.
Clockwise and then counterclockwise, right at the crown of your head. I guess the crown, wait a minute. It's crown. Where's the crown?
Yeah, it'd be
That's
the
right on
fontanelle.
top, right?
Yeah, the fontanelle. You can feel the center. There's where all the bones join.
Yeah.
You can feel where it is
Mhm.
in your skull.
Yep. Is that the spot where the baby's skull is weak when they're born?
Yeah. Well, it's not solid yet.
Right. It hasn't grown together yet. Okay, so let's do that one more time. We're going to build the energy, right? And then thumbs right over left, and put that together, and then you put it over the head, your head, or anybody else who needs it. And then it doesn't say, Julian didn't say how long to hold it for. This is where your hands and the receptivity and the sensitivity of your hands is really going to come in handy, just knowing what you're feeling. Like if I did this and I felt real tingly and then it was less tingly, I would think, okay, I've absorbed all the energy that I can absorb, or I'd ask the person I'm helping if they feel anything, and then just kind of go from there. So right thumb over the left, build your cup, hand over the head, and then you hold it there for at least a minute. but you might hold it for longer. Okay. And break the energy. 2 fingers on the crown of your head, clockwise 3 times, counterclockwise 3 times. Break the energy. And then right over left, follow it up. And you're done. Break the energy. It's a complicated one.
So you're doing the pyramid over your head 3 times? Is that what we did?
Twice.
Twice.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Build the energy, pyramid, fontanelle, 3 times each direction, and pyramid.
Okay.
So 3 things, 2 pyramids.
Got it.
All right. And then the last thing I want to go over is protecting your energy. We talked about that a little bit. That's really important to do. Of course, we're all faced with a lot of stressors in everyday life, and this can help no matter where you are. So how do we do that? Circles by your abdomen. And just hold them there. And if things are getting a little crazy wherever you are, you have it under control. And what's the other way? Does anybody remember that other way we said? If you can't use your
Tongue
hands.
to the roof of the mouth.
Tongue on the roof of the mouth. Thanks, Harold.
Right.
Okay. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and end today there. We'll end with the affirmation. But does anybody have any questions or yeah?
Yeah.
Becky.
On the pyramid, is that just a general energy thing, or when you don't have an idea of where the person needs it?
It could be when you don't have an idea of when the person needs it or what they need. Absolutely. Because remember, it goes wherever the energy is needed. It's a more intense way of delivering energy. Again, make sure the person's sitting down or lying down. You could unruffle them, get them all relaxed, and then pyramid them. Okay.
I have a question, if I may, to share a situation. There's a good friend of mine. I've been working with her. She has 4th stage cancer and an inoperable lung. She is quite large. She is receptive to healing energy. She's always sitting down when I'm working with her. And, I know really she seems to be protecting and carrying a lot of the weight of the world, with her, the size, and I can feel it energetically. So when I work with her, it feels challenging to be able to get energy, through. I've used kind of a staccato tapping energy, very, very light. This is not about a full massage at all. This is just energetic. And of course, we know if we do this pyramid, it is going to go to where it needs to be. But kind of with this description and what's going on, are there any other thoughts that come to mind? Absolutely, I'm integrating what you're sharing here, and a lot of the pieces I'm doing, already with her. Are there any other thoughts that come to mind of, because it just, the impression is this is a large individual, both physically and just it's very solid energy.
It's the physicality is what we're talking about here with the healing stuff. There's always a spirituality involved in it, of course, but especially with the cancer, you just want to really send energy, like the pyramid. We're gonna go over something later called the zapper, for generalized healing, but unruffling. I think things like that give comfort.
Yes,
Um,
yeah,
you don't want to do anything that is like taking energy, like an infection draw or anything like that with somebody with known cancer, because
Yeah.
it spread it. But
Yeah.
I think just really concentrating. The size of the person doesn't matter. Uh feeling the weight of the world. I think anything you can do that just helps generate calm and some empowerment, teaching her maybe how to do some things for herself too. That can really help somebody feel not so helpless.
Right, right.
A tough time.
Yeah, I'm clearly coming from an intent that it's not about healing her.
Sure.
No, this is all a choice. But if there's a way to lighten, like through the unruffling, I think that's going to help
I
quite.
think that'll be really good.
Yeah, yeah, and then providing comfort. I realize that really is where, quality of life, comfort, that's what we can do. And if she can feel a sense of
Being
light.
a friend and being as normal as possible. I had cancer twice, and the first time was colon cancer. It was stage 4. It was operable, so I was lucky. But I think your life just feels so messed up and different, and people treat you different. And
Yeah.
it's not that they want to, it's just all of a sudden you're fragile.
Yeah.
But you're really not.
Mm.
But I think just being there, offering comfort, that unruffling, the pyramid, if she's really, down, and just teaching her how to do some little things herself for little aches and pains, I think that would make a world of difference.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good question.
If I may add,
Yes.
I had a strong feeling that light touches on the back of her feet at the Achilles heel can also really help this person to relax and to accept more of the energy coming in.
True, that's true. And kind of touching on the Eastern Chinese medicine, they use the foot in the acupuncture or what have you. That I'm not looking to do that, but energetically, yes, there's a lot of edema on both legs, and the feet are pretty swollen. So to unruffle and to release that from the
I think that would
foot.
help.
Yeah, that would be helpful. So thank you. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate that. I will do that. I'll be seeing her tonight, so I'll probably do that. Thank you.
Give her all of our combined love.
Mhm.
When you give her a hug, make sure we're in it too.
Yeah. You'll probably say, where'd that come from? Who's that?
Heroes. No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? We'll go ahead and end today. The affirmation: God is my source of all supply and answers my every need. Each new day brings forth serenity and peace. As all my potential is brought to the surface and used, I am an instrument of the divine power and I am fulfilled. Thank you, Creator. So be it.
So be it.
This was fun today. Thank you guys so much.
This is
Thank
nice.
you.
It is very nice. I feel like I'm making
Yeah.
new friends.
Yeah.
Dan and I were talking, we